Hello, dreamers, and welcome back to Dream Queen by Perla. First off, I want to say thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, I encourage you to do so. It helps with growing the channel, getting the video out there for more people, as well as keeping me accountable for personal readings. So that information can be found down below in the description. So Leo, Virgo Cusp. Um, and I don't mean slow down. I want to say slow down, but not in the sense as what you're actually doing. Um, it's more of like slow down your mind. There is a need here to slow down your thoughts. There may be a lot of overthinking, a lot of overanalyzing a situation, whether this is at work, whether this is in your home life, regardless of what it is. Stop overthinking it. Stop over worrying about something. You're showing up, you're putting in the work. Now allow the results to come in. There is a sense of really needing to start your day grounding yourself. I'm not telling you how to do that. There is many different ways, and everybody grounds in a different way. But there is a sense of like, especially specifically this week, if it's not something that you do, maybe getting into a routine where you spend a couple of minutes with yourself in the morning. Kind of grounding yourself, because again, there is a lot that you have your hands in. There's a lot of things that you're doing, and it can become overwhelming. Not the fact, not exactly what you have to do, but more your thoughts going. It's like you're in the middle of a task and you're already thinking about the next task. And what happens with things like that is that then you can overburn yourself. Kind of like, and it's not so much physically, but it's like mentally and spiritually. So needing like, okay, if you're doing this, focus on this, right? And when you've completed this and you've given 100% to this one thing, then move on to the next. There's no rush. The multitasking for some of you is actually hurting you, because again, you're not giving 100% of yourself to anything. But multitasking may be something that you normally always do, but this week anyways, because of the interrupting thoughts and overthinking of things, you're whatever it is that you're multitasking on can be hurt in the sense where you may miss something. You know what I'm saying? So there are certain things that I do multitask with, and there are things that I do not multitask with, right? And it's kind of like finding that balance. What can you effectively multitask? Basically, personally for me, is more on things that are automatic, right? When it comes to like cooking, I don't follow like a recipe, so I don't have to physically be looking at a recipe, right? I know what I put in what, depending on what I'm going to make. So I can be cooking and doing something else, right? I can be cooking and run and switch to laundry because I know how much time I have. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost kind of like there are certain things that you really shouldn't be multitasking on, that really need your full attention and energy at that moment. And then there's things that you can multitask on, right? But just kind of just the I know, I mean, tongue-tying myself all the time. The main thing here is the time that you set aside to recharge or to kind of unwind. That time cannot be used for multitasking with something else. Now, and this is just an example. Years ago, years, when my kids were little, very little, I would watch TV, right, at the end of the day. So when my kids all went to bed and stuff, we had a wonderful schedule for bedtime and stuff like that. I would clean, like, do everything before going to bed because I had to work in the morning. And then I would always give myself about 45 minutes to an hour every evening to catch up on a TV show or something like that. But what I found myself doing was that I was watching TV, but then I was pre-packaging like their snacks and this and that, and always doing something. So my brain was never really shutting down. My brain was never really resting. Now, I'm not telling you that your downtime or whatever has to be in front of a TV. To each their own, right? Now my downtime is different. Are there times where I want to watch a TV show? Yeah, and I will watch it, but when I'm watching it, that's all I'm doing, right? If I'm doing, like, if I'm meditating, that is all I'm doing, right? I'm not multitasking as I'm meditating. And it's kind of like finding that balance, and that's what you're being asked. Like, when is your downtime? Like, so if you say, okay, I'm gonna go for a 20-minute walk, you put that phone on Do Not Disturb. And yes, I am a huge user of Do Not Disturb. You put that phone on Do Not Disturb. You put your timer on for 20 minutes. Put that phone in the pocket and go for your walk. If you're meditating, put that phone on Do Not Disturb. Set your timer and focus on your meditation. And it's kind of like that is kind of like the message for you this week. Yes, you're very busy. I feel like you guys are always very busy, always going after things. But this week, it can really hurt you if you're multitasking on things that need your full undivided attention. So for your tarot card, we have Karma. We have the 10 of Pentacles, and then we have the Tower in the reverse. So get ready for things to speed up. And I feel that this is why you're being asked not to multitask on certain things, because whatever it is that needs your undivided attention is going to bring in some type of security. So whether this is your work, or maybe you're starting a business, or whether it is your fitness, or whatever it is, there is something that is coming. Like there is a huge reward coming from this. With the Tower in the reverse, how do you avoid any challenges or any delays in that? Is by giving it your full attention, right? So like, personally, again, and I just share my experiences, because sometimes people are like, well, how do you do that? How do you, commit to something, or how do you, give your full attention? Well, very simple. Like, there are days, and I'm not gonna lie, when I wake up and I'm like, and I start working out, and I see, right, and I start to notice, okay, my mind is drifting onto what I have to do, and then I'll stop the workout and I'll sit down for a couple of minutes and I'll breathe, and I'll literally talk to myself like, hey, you know what, we got to focus on this, because this is what we set the time for. All of that stuff we will deal with when we're done with this workout. And then I'll go ahead through my workout playlist, and I'll put on some music that really gets me into whatever it is that I'm working out on that day. And that's it. Because it's not that, every single day you have to consciously choose what it is that you want to invest your time and your energy in, and be fully committed to it. So let's go ahead and let's pull out an oracle card. Now this can be your advice, confirmation to the reading, or something that you need to be made aware of that you're not seeing clearly. Crystals and herbs, number 12. All one medicine was sacredness to behold, a dash of healing straight from mother's home. Some of you really need to, those times or those moments that you spend with yourself. Sorry, I feel like I have something in my mouth. Those times and moments that you're setting aside for yourself to decompress, to meditate, to sit with yourself, to dance, to do whatever it is that lifts your spirit. You really have to pay attention to it. You have to be really devoted to it. And that has to be a do not disturb time. That has to be a time for you. It is something that really allows you to stay grounded, and really allows you to accomplish as much as you do. Well, guys, that is all that I have for you for this week. Thank you for all your love and support. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Mwah! Love you all. Bye-bye.